So, Kamen Rider Geats episode 22. This episode was not going in the direction I thought it would be going near the end of the episode, because from all the trailers it looked like a really weird, wacky, goofy, silly episode while we're still in the middle of a game. But not only that, since we're almost at the halfway point for these series, it looks like the show is starting to turn a bit of gears as they want to get closer and draw closer to the main plot and motivations of the villains. So, this episode, there was no Yamato fighting, which was a weird change for once, because usually in the games they gotta fight the Yamato, but in this one, the Game Master is sort of the target, where they play a game of hide and seek with him, and they've got to catch him, and hijinks ensue in this episode. And there was some funny gags in this episode, like when Kawa steps on the landmine, and one of these sort of NPC riders walks away from him. I was like, wait, he just walked away, and then he steps off the landmine and he explodes. That was a really good joke in there. But like I said, we got to see the debut of the Game Master being Glare 2, but we also saw a brand new rider, Kamen Rider Jean, or Jin, depending on what subs or translation you want to go with. His name is, like, on the wiki pronounced Jean, but the romanization of his name is Jin. But then the subs I used, they had Jin with a Z, which was kind of weird. So we'll see what happens with how it's meant to be spelled later down the line. I'm sure we'll find out eventually, but it was cool seeing a rider that wasn't spoiled to me through scans or anything like that. I know I probably had as the thumbnail for this video. That might have spoiled it for a lot of people, but it was nice to see a brand new rider that I didn't see through scans or leaks or anything like that online through Twitter, because I was busy watching the UFC today. So it was cool to see a brand new rider, fresh and new, which was cool to see. Now, Kamen Rider Jin or Jin's suit, I'm not that warm to it just yet. I do like the color design where it's black and white on each side. That looks really nice. But it's the giant headpiece he's got going on for him, which kind of throws me up, because I don't know what it's meant to be. Like, I don't know what it's meant to be based on. Maybe that's why I'm confused about what I'm seeing right now when I look at the suit. Like, that giant mouthpiece that he's got coming out of him is so weird to look at and kind of off-putting. I do like the, lower part around his shoulder. That looks cool. But having it on the helmet looks really weird for me. But the color scheme does look cool with how it's set out. Like, the blue and the black and the white. I think that looks really nice. But I'm guessing that the driver, no doubt about it, is probably going to be a Bandai Premium. That's probably not going to get a DX toy. That is definitely with how they revealed it, is going to probably and most definitely be a Bandai Premium toy that they're going to put online. So I could be wrong, but when I saw that thing, I was like, oh, well, that's going on Bandai Premium, no doubt about that. But also in this episode, you sort of have Neon being the disaster, and she's trying to do her goals, and not only that, she's trying to throw people off from people suspecting that she's the disaster, because even if she doesn't get caught, it also comes down to popularity in the end. And Geats right now, Ace, he's one of the most popular, and Neon is tied with Kawa with popularity, and Neon feels like that she might not be able to sort of win this with everything going on. And near the end of the episode, we have this scene where she tries throwing Ace under the bus and tries pointing fingers at Ace by saying, hey, I think Ace is the disaster. I think it's him. Do you agree with me, Kawa? And Kawa is actually really smart to catch on, because he's like, hey, you never accused me of being the disaster, not once. And it's weird for you to sort of point fingers at people and try and accuse them of doing stuff like that. And he quickly catches on that it's her, but that's where they leave off on that one. But like I said, the whole concept of this episode is them playing hide and seek with the Game Master, which was really wacky, really goofy. A lot of fun visual gags in this episode. Some really cool fights as well. I will say that. The Glare 2 suit, it's okay. I get the feeling we're going to see different variants and skins of this suit later down the line. And it ends in a weird way where because this whole game was definitely planned by the villain side, because they don't send any Jamato in the city, and the Game Master, I should have mentioned this at the start of the review, the Game Master is worried that, hey, there's no Jamato attacking, then ratings are going to plummet, and that's not good. So he ends up being the target in this episode where they've got to chase him. But at the end of the episode, he gets cornered by Sparrow and Buffer and Buraba, I believe her name is, the Jelly Bean Girl, and he gets the shit kicked out of him and gets his driver stolen. So no doubt about it, this whole plan was set up by them by not sending any Jamato into the city, so that way they can do this ambush. So with her holding on to his driver, I wonder if that's going to make her the next Game Master moving forward, and that way they can sort of take control of how the game is going to go moving forward and flip things on its head, because a lot of people have been speculating that the whole game aspect of Geats is going to stop after a while and it's just going to become like this fight between good and evil. And seeing how they're after the goddess of creation and they need these Game Master drivers to get in there, then I can see that they're going to try and grab these Game Master desire drivers to get a hold of the goddess of creation, which a lot of people are predicting is Ace's mother, because that's why he can't sort of use the wish to resurrect her or see her or anything like that, because there's some sort of something involved in the middle of that. But what's also interesting to note about Jelly Bean Girl is before they jump the Game Master, you see her reach for a driver, much like Gene used before he transformed. So I get the feeling that all these sponsors that could be from other worlds and other universes and timelines and stuff like that, like they've hinted at with some of them, I get the feeling they all have their own special drivers. So I wonder who else has one of them. Will we see the Statue Frog be a real person and they've got their own driver? Will we see Neon's father transform later down the line in the show? I mean, there is quite the possibility that the sponsors all have their own drivers that can transform. And if they do, that'd be really cool to see. I'm hoping that they have some cool suit designs as well. But I'm hoping we get to see Baraba's form that she used to kick the crap out of the Game Master. That would be really cool to see, because I'm wondering if there's a theme between these riders with sponsors that have their own drivers. That'd be something neat to see. But yeah, this episode was quite the interesting one. Really wacky, really goofy, really silly, but also the drama is sort of ramping up with Neon almost being discovered and the Game Master having his driver stolen by the bad guys. So it looks like things are going to get interesting next week, no doubt about it. In the previews you see Ace teaming up with Gene. That looked like a really cool scene, but I am curious to see where the show is going to go moving forward as we enter the halfway point of the show, because no doubt about it, once we reach episode 26, we'll definitely be entering some kind of new story arc, or in the next couple of episodes a brand new story arc of the show. So I definitely look forward to that. But anyway, guys, what did you think of Kamen Rider Geats episode 22? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Take care. Bye.